Okay, here we are, the last chapter. Amazing, right? Hopefully you guys have learned some things this semester. There you go, hopefully that's better. Hopefully you guys have learned some things this semester and enjoyed the course. And are, if nothing else, able to see ads in a different way, see marketing in a different way, and understand a little bit of the news. Okay, so sustainability and sustainable marketing, social responsibility, and ethics. Sustainability, remember that is this idea that it's the ability to provide for this generation without compromising the needs of the next. So making sure that we have enough raw materials, making sure that we have a good planet, a healthy planet, um, and financially, not taking advantage of people now, and then social responsibility and ethics. We've talked about that, and we'll talk about again in this chapter. Okay, so sustainable marketing balances the needs of the consumers versus the needs of business, and also I'd like to add also the needs of society as a whole, so that marketing efforts don't damage communities either. That's the idea of sustainable marketing. All right, so marketing, and now it's a sustainable marketing concept that's looking at the future, looking for the future. You can do that, through careful planning and that kind of thing. Okay, so there's a lot of criticisms of marketing, the impact on individual consumers, society as a whole, and impact on other businesses in terms of unfair business practices. So we're going to go through them one by one. So high prices and unnecessarily high prices, deceptive advertising and deceptive practices in terms of what's in products, high pressure selling, feeling people forced into buying things, unsafe products or things that are poorly made, planned obsolescence. So planned obsolescence is this idea that cell phones are kind of a prime example of that. That the charger doesn't work anymore, or you always have to get the new change the batteries, or that eventually that a new product will come in and make it impossible for you to use the old product. And then poor service to disadvantaged consumers. This is a big concern for marketers and for the community, that charging higher prices for low-income people, rent to own would be an example of that. That charging exorbitant prices or charging higher interest rates, that kind of thing, and not giving as good of service to people who might not have the same transportation availability or financial resources. Okay, so society as a whole is creating too much materialism, creating too much want. How many things do we really need? Do we all need? You go to department stores. There's so many clothes, and do people really need all those clothes? Do they really need every gizmo and gadget that's out there? So creating this sense of false wants and driving satisfaction from material items as opposed to non-material experiences. Not enough social goods. Some social goods. Things that help society at large, and then cultural pollution. This idea about so much advertising and so much so that all that white noise and clutter. Okay, impact on other businesses. That there's it's hard for the small guy because larger corporations are buying up bigger corporations, or making it creating a barrier to entry. So marketing, developing a product that is so expensive to produce that other companies can't move into that market, and so keeping the market for yourself. And then unfair marketing or competitive practices in terms of pricing and blocking out distributors, that kind of thing. Okay, so there are traditional rights for people. The sellers has rights and the buyers have rights. That the buyers want to have something that it's a product to be able the ability to buy a product, and the expectation that it'll be safe and that it's going to do what it says it's going to do. That that lawnmower you got is going to cut the lawn at the the rate it said it's going to, and the blades aren't going to get stuck and all that kind of thing. Sellers' rights are that they can introduce any product, and as long as it has controls, warnings and controls, to charge a price for the product, that without being discriminated against, so because they need to make a profit too, and also to be able to promote that product, to use a product message that's not misleading or dishonest. That would be also a right of the seller. Basically to be able to share the information they can, and to use some kind of buying incentive programs, coupons, premiums, that kind of thing that we talked about a couple chapters ago. Okay, so consumer rights, to be well informed about a product. We certainly see that in the prescription drug industry, and also to be protected against any kind of questionable product. Hopefully the government can regulate that for us. And also trying to improve our quality of life. Are we happier every day? And also this is sustainability, to consume in a way to preserve the world for future generations of consumers, so that we're not using up all the supply of wood, or using up all the supply of certain plants or animals, whatever it may be. All right, so let's talk about environmentalism. So it talks about the living environment, so damage to the ecosystem, in terms of too much fishing or polluting the waters, that kind of thing. Loss of recreational areas due to businesses coming in and taking them over or polluting them, and also health problems, particularly with the food we eat and the air we breathe. So environmental sustainability, so being able to have a level of profitability, but without harming the environment in the meantime. Okay, so this is green technology essentially. So clean technology, as opposed to things that hurt the environment and hurt the air and water, preventing pollution, and then externally, that's what they can do. These are things that they can do inside the company, outside the company. Externally, trying to minimize any kind of environmental impact in the manufacture, production, and distribution of your product, and making sure that you put that in your vision and mission and in your long-term goals. Okay, so these are marketing decisions that are covered by government regulations, we hope. Selling and advertising decisions, so we want to make sure that there's no bribing, no trade secrets, misrepresentation, unfair discrimination, that kind of thing, and making sure that basically that you're honest in your advertising and you're not taking advantage of people and telling people, bait and switch is getting someone in for one product and then selling them something else because that product isn't available or that product is not going to do what it has promised to do. These are big issues and big problems. The consumer beware. Okay, so that's for selling and advertising decisions. All right, let's talk about channel decisions in terms of exclusiveness and where you sell your product, making sure it's available for people, making sure the dealers have rights, that there's, the distributorships, that people have opportunity to buy and sell, and in terms of competition, to making sure that you give everyone an opportunity to keep the barriers of entry into the industry low enough so that other people can enter. One thing that we've seen recently in Western New York is this whole idea of the food trucks, and the restaurants were very upset about that. That was a big legal issue, that in terms of competition, and to a certain extent channel in terms of delivery of food products. So these are things that everyone has to play well together. Everyone has to play well in the sandbox together, because we all have a right to own a business should we want to, and service our customers. And then also with products in terms of safety and warranties, packaging, that it's that the labeling is accurate, and we don't spend that there's not too much cost in the packaging itself. Or that it's creating too much pollution in terms of waste and litter. All right, and then pricing, that there's no price fixing. There's predatory pricing in terms of taking advantage of unfair advantage of people who are disadvantaged, financially disadvantaged. Price discrimination, charging one price in one area and charging another price in another area. Charging more in low-income areas and higher-income areas. And then also deceptive pricing, making sure that the price really is what it is and you're not surprised by all sorts of add-ons. All right. Okay, so sustainable marketing principles. Consumer-oriented marketing is trying to view things from the consumer's point of view. And then customer value marketing is trying to offer the customer as much value as possible. And then also this whole idea of innovative marketing is coming up with new ideas to better serve and not just keep on doing the same old thing all the time. Okay, so sense of mission marketing, and that's the idea of having a mission, a company mission that looks at things in terms of society's best interests. And again, societal marketing is this idea that when you look at things, you look at consumers, what consumer wants, what the company needs, long-run interest, and then also society's long-run interest. So not just the company and the consumer, but the society at large. Okay, marketing ethics. Ethics, of course, is a study of the difference between right and wrong. They should be developed by firms and to have for guidelines for handling certain decisions. We certainly have seen a lot of issues with marketing, ethics and marketing over and over again recently. In terms of, one clear example is Bernie Madoff, when he, took advantage of so many people selling securities, when he really wasn't selling securities at all. He was just taking their money. Making sure that, if people are even at a smaller level, locally, you would hear stories about, contractors who take unfair, take a down payment and then, never do the work, or, plowing services, that kind of thing. Okay, marketing ethics are principles that are set forth that marketers should stand by and try to follow. And it is the responsibility of the individual companies and managers. So in addressing these ethical issues usually builds a stronger customer relationship, because people appreciate honesty and they want to be able to trust you, and also with the community as well. Locally, we saw the issue with Tonawanda Coke a few years ago, that they knew that they were emitting benzene into the atmosphere because of their pipes, and benzene causes cancer, and they did not, and that was not necessarily marketing ethics in terms of their product development, because they were misleading the people and harming the community. So that's just one example of marketing ethics. Even though they knew that they were causing this problem, they never did anything to correct it. Okay, so ethical norms suggested by the American Marketing Association: do no harm, develop trust, and embrace ethical values. It seems pretty straightforward. But the problem is that, people get greedy and egos get involved, and so oftentimes the best decisions are not necessarily made. All right, and then sustainable companies. Generally speaking, we like a sustainable country. It creates more value for the consumers, for customers, by doing things that are responsible, socially, environmentally, and ethically responsible, and hopefully will improve customer relationships as well. So anyway, that's it. That's a wrap, guys. That's the class. So hopefully these were all helpful to you. And again, if you have any questions, please be in touch with me. You can always call me. And my phone number is on the syllabus, 851-1522. And if you have any other, if there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. Okay, thanks.